Yo, yum, dum, bum.
Good morning, good morning, good morning,
Good morning.
and welcome. We're just here. I'm still sick and shut in. He's getting better.
That's right. That's right.
I'm having to pull out the big guns. Yeah, so we're here, and we're glad that you're here joining us. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Up top, you have Mr. Eddie Lugo, and then you have us. And don't move, Scott, because I like Scott down there. And you have Scott from the Mustard Drill. And he's got like 7 days before he goes on the cruise, I believe.
You know what? I haven't even looked. Let's take a look at that
I
really
think you
quick.
got less than that.
And heat rises, so I'm thinking that if Scott's at the top, he might get up a little bit.
No.
That could be it. You're right. I have 6. Come on, focus.
Days.
6. Oh my goodness.
That's right.
And
I don't count the day I'm in, so I actually think 5. 5 days.
Yeah.
So my wife said to me last night, she was like, you know what tomorrow's question could be? I was like, what? She said, tomorrow's question could be, she's like, how'd she say it? Ask Eddie what the best Brooklyn pizza shop is that we can order pizza from and have it sent or have it delivered to our hotel on Saturday for dinner. So because we're staying in a hotel in Brooklyn the night before our cruise. So
yeah, and Eddie knows because he told us
he did
to get pizza.
Well, that was in Manhattan. Let's hear about Brooklyn.
There's 2 places in Brooklyn, but unfortunately, where the area where you're gonna be at, it's gonna be a little bit expensive to get it delivered there, which is La Sorrentina, which is 60th Street and 60th and between 11th and 12th Avenues. And the other one is Spumoni. Spumoni Gardens is one of the best beaches you can find in Brooklyn. But unfortunately, it's a little bit far from the port. There has to be either Rosas or Jeans or somewhere nearby. You will like it no matter what. Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean our hotel. I mean Beth booked our hotel for us, so it's on President Avenue or President whatever street or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think she booked it based on its proximity to the port. Yeah, right. So out of the hotels that we would normally stay in, the brands and stuff like that we normally are try to build loyalty in, which is typically Marriott. Mm-hmm. It's the one that's the closest to the port. So
cool.
But, Yep.
You're in the Dumbo area, so that is expensive.
Yeah.
Down there, so.
Yep. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome into the show. We are Go Live Together. We are your host and hostess. Good morning.
Hey there.
We appreciate everybody who has come into the live stream and also the replay. If you are here for the replay, please type in the word #replay so we know that you were here. But for those of you that are here right now, especially the notification squad, big shout out to you guys.
And our moderators.
Yes. Big shout out to you guys. Y'all keep everything on track. Good morning, Mike and J&S Adventures.
Allied reinforcements have arrived from the north.
Next up with a fresh pineapple is Scott McNeil. Thank you.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning, Scott Smith, driving and listening. Next up is Cruising with Keith. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up? And congratulations, Keith. Congratulations. Oh, and by the way, Keith, I hate grandma's pizza. I hate grandma pizza.
Well, you're right next to Carl Garden. Carl Garden is a great place to get pizza from. So any store there, you should be all right.
Cool beans.
Well, Elizabeth is in the chat, so I'm sure she heard you.
Yeah. Sea Tripping with Kim and Scott. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Controversial Cruising. Wow. 6 minutes, guys. Really? 6 minutes. We are in Scott compliance.
Oh, I love all my Scots.
Yes. Traveling with Tinkerbell. Good morning.
And Tinker, I'm still sick. I just took a puff off of my inhaler.
And I agree with you, Scott. I'm not too too overwhelmed about grandma pizza either.
No, my wife and her mother love it, and they get it all the time from this shop right down the street from her mom's house called Ferrante's. Right?
No.
Don't like it.
Not good. And speaking of which, B-Roll Beth has made it into the chat. Says this is finally my cruise too.
All right.
Yep, she's
Break the
finally getting
thermostat.
on a ship. So, oh,
Break
and I have
the
this.
thermostat. Don't let
babe.
touch it. Hey, babe, break the thermostat.
Okay.
Seriously, when she came upstairs today, I was like, I just have it on to take the edge off the house. I'm not running it all day. I put the heat on today this morning. So.
Cruising with Keith says, my favorite pizzeria is Rosa's, but go to the one in Queens.
No Queens, Brooklyn.
Mm.
You don't need to go to no fucking Queens for nothing.
Wow. Controversial Cruising says, Spumani Gardens, let's go, Eddie. Yes. And Kathy Mills has made it in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, snap. The Z Show Cruise Fund has come in with a comment. Good morning, content creators from the greatest state in America, the Lone Star State of
Texas.
So sorry about the New York Jets. How about them Cowboys?
I only have one thing to say about that.
Ravens.
Go Ravens!
I do have one thing to say about that, but I'm not going to say it. We're in a family show.
Let's see. Midlife Travels has made it in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Cruising with Keith says, Grandma Pizza is either great or horrible. No in between.
No, it's all horrible.
And nobody's ever mentioned that to us when we went to New York. Me and me.
We're always after the dollar pizza. You know, I don't know what the different places are, but
I mean, listen. I memean, New York has some of the best pizza there is, right? But if you ask any real honest maybe Keith will disagree with this, right? Most people generally believe that the best New York pizza comes from Brooklyn.
Yes.
Most people generally believe that.
Put it in your head. That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
So, you know.
Okay. And let's see. Cruising with Keith says, how about the Giants comeback?
That was yesterday.
That's
I heard about that. I'm not too thrilled about it, but I heard about that. I didn't watch no football yesterday.
I was in bed most of the day.
Yep. And let's see. We are all caught up in the chat, and there is a ship in today. Just sitting out there all pretty and stuff, waiting to go somewhere. This is the Voyager of the Seas.
Nice. Backwards.
There she is. Her namesake. First in class.
You can see her aft.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Miss Travels. How you doing?
Yeah, nice aft.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Congratulations, Keith. Nice half a dollar there. Now the next half a dollar is gonna get hard to get. So start working on it.
Yep. It's all uphill from there.
Yep. That's right.
And let's see. If you are in Galveston and you're about to jump on the Voyager, we're waking up to 78 degrees this morning with 75% humidity and sun. If you are
wonderful
today, your sail away forecast is 89 degrees with a 46% humidity and sunny. So it is going to be hot today.
It sounds so nice.
I know, right? I know Scott would eat that up.
Oh, but seriously, like here we are in Grand Turk, right? I'm sitting at the table with two of the best damn humans that ever existed. Okay. And those two are constantly wiping the sweat off their bodies. And I haven't broken a sweat at all.
I'm sweating through my shirt. It was so bad. It was just like,
and and my skin is dry, right?
Yep.
So
You're an alien.
I
Right.
gotta be.
Because it was hot.
It was real hot.
It was comfortable.
And I mean, in
Jeremy, you should have hit him.
Was when the wind was coming through. When the wind was coming through, it was all right.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Here's another New Yorker. House of X Entertainment Inc. has made it in.
Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party.
Oh, I love this song.
I know, right? The Fats and Tree have made it in. Good morning.
Oh, they got a lot of stuff this weekend. I saw him in the pool,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in the water.
Yeah, it was like I think House of X went live. I think yesterday from like a Mount Vernon Comic-Con or something like that or whatever. And it was, you know, like I didn't catch the live. I caught the replay, but it looked like it was a pretty cool community event. So,
KK
in the community.
Yep. KK's Travel and Education Vlogs has made it in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
I saw Tinkerbell here too.
Yeah, Tink came in a little earlier. How is the weather in your neck of the woods, Eddie?
It is 61 degrees at the moment and sunny. So it's cooler outside than what it is in the house. But it's going to go up to 76 today, 76, 78. So it should be a very nice day.
Now, I know we talked about the interior temperature where you are, Scott, with the little additions and battery packs and gizmos and gadgets a while ago.
Yeah, so this is the battery. This is one of the battery packs to my heated hoodie that I will be taking with me to Canada and New England because I will need it.
Right. But what is the weather outside where you are?
Right now it is 63 degrees, mostly cloudy. We're gonna have a high of 74 today. So
nice.
We're having almost the same weather, you and me.
Yeah, so this is what I think. I think we had a lot of the same weather throughout the summer. Like from where you are and where I am. But I think right now is where it's really gonna start to take a turn. You know, so it's gonna get like noticeably colder here while you guys kind of
mellow
taper
out
off a little bit more, moderate a little bit more, but it's like a switch. And if you ask Clock and stuff like that, he'll tell you too, it's the same in the fall, right? Or I mean, and same in the spring. We have almost no spring for like the last, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, maybe even 10 years. We really don't have a spring. We have winter, and at the flip of a switch, it's like hot. And we have no gradual work into it or whatever. I don't know what the deal is with it, but it's been that way for years and years now. Here, so.
And see.
It's my fault.
Traveling with Tinkerbell says it's hot in Florida. You would love it, Scott.
I'm spending almost the entire month of October in Florida, and I cannot wait.
I know, right? Let's see. Are you taking the hoodie just in case?
I am not taking the hoodie with me. I mean, well, here's the thing. I've got to come back here, right? So I probably will have the hoodie with me, but I won't obviously need it. But yeah, I probably will because I definitely have to fly back home at the end of October. I'm going to be in October from the 11th to the 29th. In Central Florida. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm actually been looking for ways to go down a little bit earlier. I get back from my New England, Canada cruise on October 4th, and I've been looking for ways try to maybe go down on the 6th and stay from the 6th to the 29th. But either way, I'm going to be there from the 11th to the 29th for sure. So definitely looking forward to it.
Bastion TV and Lee Sung Soon TV has made it in. Good morning.
Good
Hey,
morning.
Lee.
Morning.
Also,
Thank you for coming in.
Tinkerbell says, let me know, Scott. I can drive to Orlando and meet you.
Cool. Yeah, I'm up for it. So I'll definitely, like I said, I'll be there. I'll be on cruises, but I'll be in Orlando in between cruises for an entire week.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
I'll
Elizabeth,
actually be out closer to Davenport, so Claremont. So
Elizabeth says,
okay.
need the hoodie for the AC in the room.
Good.
Listen,
good,
she and I have already had this. We are not running that air conditioner in a room. Maybe we will not have the heat on, but we are not running that air conditioner in Canada and New England when it is almost October. It's not happening. She and I went out to run errands the other day, right? And it was only 71 degrees outside. And we got in the car and she put the air conditioner on. And I was like, no. I turned it off. I was like, we're going to put windows down. We're going to put the windows down and let the air start moving through the car. We are not running the air conditioner. Didn't happen.
Windows down at 70s.
Jeremy, he's sounding all tough and cookie and all that, but you know that when somebody goes,
we're going to put it on. We're going to, yeah.
So listen, she actually, so she's clarifying here in the chat. She actually meant air conditioning in her room when we're like on Wonder of the Seas.
In the Caribbean. Yeah.
When we're on Wonder of the Seas at the end of October, yes, fine. We'll have the air conditioner on. Now, we won't have it all the way down at the bottom. Okay. Right. It will be on, but we won't have it all the way at the bottom. Okay. And at least then I can escape out to the deck and lay on a lounger like a lizard on a rock and, and gather some heat. So
does Royal Caribbean have those nice heavy blankets like Carnival? Like whenever you're under them, you're sweating, and whenever you come out, you're freezing?
No, and I differ. I think I disagree that is the case on Carnival as well, but
it is for me. Okay. I'm sweating through the night, but I have to have it on because of the good air conditioning on the.
Listen, when I was on Venezia, right, I had the heat all the way up, as you know, and I still slept underneath the blankets, pulled all the way up to my neck.
My goodness,
it was wonderful.
Okay, and let's see, we are caught up in the chat, which means that it is time for what happened on this day in history.
Amen.
In 1885, Bulgarian nationalists in eastern Rumelia mounted a coup and declared the province's unification with Bulgaria, leading to the Serbo-Bulgarian War.
You got through there.
Yes, I did. 1895, Booker T. Washington declared the Atlanta Compromise, a classic statement on race relations in a speech at the Atlanta, Georgia Exposition. In 1905, actress Greta Garbo, who was best known for her portrayals of strong-willed heroines, most of them as compellingly bananas as herself, was born in Stockholm. Wow. I thought I could really make through that one. In 1933, Canadian ice hockey coach Scotty Bowman, who won a record 9 Stanley Cups as head coach in the National Hockey League, was born. My goodness, there's a lot of banana stories here. In 1970, American rock guitarist and singer Jimi Hendrix, who fused American traditions of blues, jazz, rock, and soul with techniques of British avant-garde rock to redefine the electric guitar in his own image, died of an overdose of barbiturates in London.
Avant-garde?
Avant-garde. That's what it says. I hope I got that right. That might be a half a banana. In 2001, for the second straight day, Typhoon Nari pounded Taiwan with record rainfalls, causing massive flooding and killing 79 people. In 2014, Scottish voters rejected a referendum that would have made Scotland an independent country. And sadly, on this day in 2020, American lawyer RBG, who was the second woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court, died at the age of 87.
The notorious.
Yes, you better believe it.
That's right. That's right. And that will do it for On This Day in History. And let me see who else has made it into the show on this day.
Well, I know somebody has made it in.
I get the feeling someone is watching us.
Oh, yes. Good morning.
All the way from Mississippi.
Bone Tired
Is that where
Tribe.
she lives, in Mississippi?
Mississippi.
I believe so.
Mississippi.
Mm.
Oh,
snap.
me out.
Jeremy Farina.
look.
Good morning.
Joyce in the house.
What's up? What's up?
Yo.
And yes, you have made it just in time because I was about to switch over. Man, you were right on it. So here goes. Here's the cruise news brought to you today by our special sponsor. Okay. We have a sponsor for today's cruise news, and it is hashtag Butter Toast.
No.
What is cruise news with Scott and Butter News?
No.
Butter toast.
Hashtag just toast. So this is a follow-up story to a story we brought you a few weeks ago. This cruise ban petition gathers thousands of signatures. So it says here, Princess Cruises is facing increased resistance to its calls scheduled to sail to Yorktown in Virginia. A local group, Preserve Yorktown, has already raised 5,435 signatures on its petition at change.org. The charter of Yorktown, the home to the final victorious battle of the American Revolution, is threatened. We ask that concerned citizens speak out against these ships that will radically alter the character of Yorktown and may have harmful impacts on the York River and the protected sites of the Revolutionary warships in its waters. The petition also refers to Princess Cruises' past criminal convictions for environmental contamination, raising concerns about the health of the York River's complex and fragile ecosystem. The cruise line announced their Yorktown itineraries in February, promising an influx of tourism to the area. The program was initially discussed with some York County Board of Supervisor members in December of 2022. However, the full scope of the proposal was not revealed to the Yorktown residents until a forum at the American Revolution Museum this past August. Locals say the delay has resulted in transparency concerns and a loss of faith in the local government. The citizens of York County have not been included in a decision about Princess Cruises that has a significant impact on our historic community, environment, and the quality of life in Yorktown. Princess Cruises is planning to send 2 ships to Yorktown on 5 cruises in the summer of 2024. 3 of the cruises will be on the Island Princess and the Emerald Princess. Princess Cruise Line's President John Paget could not be more excited about the incredible opportunity, added this truly unforgettable destination experience to our already impressive arrays of itineraries. So it says here on their website that the calls will have a significant economic impact on the region, which has played an essential role in American history. So I have been to Yorktown a gazillion times in my lifetime. It is an incredible, beautiful place. The picture I threw up there was just the York waterfront. There is a whole historical town up on the hill, up from that area. It is a really great place, but it is very small. And I can imagine that, a huge influx of tourism, tourists coming in off of a ship could be a bit of a concern. I don't live there. I'm a firm believer that the residents that live there have they have a say in it. So I won't say how I feel about it one way or the other, but it is a really incredible place. And I can definitely see the appeal from the cruise line to want to bring people that may not necessarily find themselves in such a place on their own. They get to come there and visit it, get a taste of it. Maybe they would want to come back and stay a little bit longer. So in any event, it's about a 20-minute drive from Colonial Williamsburg. So it kind of fits in with that whole colonial theme. If you take a trip down there, incredible place. So we'll see how that unfolds. Keep bringing you updates on that story. So moving on, this is just, we're going to be running a video news clip here, but I just want to kind of preface that real quick. So it says here, 2 passengers left in Mexico after accident. I'm sure everybody has heard by now. 2 women sailing on board the Carnival Paradise have been injured in a hit and run scooter accident in Cozumel, Mexico. So we have a clip from a Tampa news station that we're going to run. So go ahead and run that now.
A relaxing cruise to Mexico turns into a nightmare. 2 women were on a scooter excursion when they were injured by a hit-and-run driver. And now they're stuck in a hospital in Mexico, wondering how they're going to get home and pay for treatment. Fox 13's Jennifer Veglis is in our newsroom tonight. So Jennifer, now one of the mothers is actually trying to get them back. How's that working out?
Yeah, so I spoke to one of the mothers that over Zoom today, waiting for her flight to Cozumel to board at TPA after getting the runaround from multiple agencies. She's hoping to take matter into her own hands.
This evening, a beautiful sky at Port of Tampa. It's where Natalia Cuesta and her girlfriend Ashley Gibson departed from on a Carnival cruise last Monday. But Natalia's mother, Maria Ortega, says right now, things are anything but sunshine and rainbows.
All I want is them back home.
Natalia and Ashley are stranded at San Miguel Hospital in Cozumel.
My daughter had a broken arm. Her bone was sticking out, and they just wrapped it up because she had no insurance.
And Ashley.
They've been trying to operate her on her foot, and they keep telling her that it's not a surgery, but it's a surgery to clean her foot.
Ortega says it all started Tuesday when she got a phone call from Carnival that the 2 never reboarded the ship. Hours later, learning the couple rented scooters from a third party and were involved in a hit and run.
I've been fighting with immigration, the hospitals, to get them back to the United States.
The issue, the couple can't fly home without a passport. Carnival cruises don't require them on some trips, but they are strongly encouraged. To make matters worse, Ortega says the hospital is demanding $10,000 to $20,000 to release Ashley.
They will not let them leave until they come up with the money in case the insurance does not cover.
Now, Ortega is begging the U.S. Embassy for a lifeline to allow them to fly home.
I need my babies home. Please help me get them home.
Now, I did reach out to a Carnival spokesperson about this. They tell me it's in Carnival Cares team, and port agent is in contact with the family to assist with travel documents and other needed items. I also reached out to the U.S. Embassy, but have not heard back. In the newsroom, Jennifer Veglis, Fox 13 News.
Oh my.
So yeah, so I mean, this is really what it comes down to, right? This is the inspiration for today's question, to discuss as well, is I don't know of any place that anybody can go that, is outside of your own country that doesn't require a passport, right? Mm-hmm. Except for cruise ships. If it's a closed loop, you can go with a birth certificate and a driver's license. And it definitely poses an issue. So, and of course, if you don't have insurance, a lot of people take it for granted in the United States. You go to the emergency room, you don't have insurance or this or that or whatever, they treat you anyway, right? But in these other countries, they don't. And you have to pay cash. So now they're kind of basically holding the one girl hostage prisoner in the hospital until somebody shows up to pay the bill. And, and I'm sure based on local laws, they're completely within their rights to do that. So I think it's a consideration that people should be having, and they clearly are not. And this should be a huge wake-up call to those people who, don't take the necessary precautions when they go on a vacation. So,
and that's the way the news goes.
That's right. Right. Oh my goodness, that's a sad story.
Hey, you wanted to save $150 because you didn't feel like paying insurance? Look what you're going through now. I mean, hello, learning lesson here. Wake up. That's why I carry my passport with me everywhere I go. It's in my front pocket, no matter what. I do not leave it in the room. I keep it with me everywhere I go. Because I'm an American, that doesn't mean I got freedom to do whatever the heck I want. You're in a different country. You gotta go by the rules, by the laws. You're not a resident there. You're not a citizen there. You don't live there. You are, up to, don't be crying later. You gotta come get me. No, it doesn't work like that. So it's gonna be a tough situation here.
It is.
Sorry. And like I said, I mean, it's the inspiration for today's question. I mean, like, I really feel like, I mean, I understand now. I know a lot of people don't necessarily agree with me on this, right? And it is a double-edged sword for me because I make my living from selling cruises. And I do wholeheartedly believe in a cruise vacation. And I do still believe that a cruise vacation is absolutely, hands down, not only the best vacation, but the best value in vacation as well from a dollars and cents standpoint. So, but that does not mean that I'm just going to rubber stamp everything these cruise lines do, because these cruise lines definitely have some shortcomings, right?
Yep.
And I think from a dollars and cents standpoint, you can't expect the cruise lines to do something like this, knowing that it would cut out a massive amount of revenue for them, because there are lots and lots of people who will either save or somehow otherwise pay for a cruise, but only because they don't have to have a passport, and lots of people opt for not having the insurance, right? So, and that would just be an extra obstacle for them. And I think there would at least be a percentage or some demographic of people who didn't cruise if they had to have a passport to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although I think that those people who enjoy cruising would eventually come around and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to get a passport. But I really feel like the time has come for somebody to put their foot down and say, listen, you are the only remaining means or mode of transportation for an American to leave the United States and not have one of these, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, a lot of people don't know this too, right? It costs $150 to get a passport for 10 years. But if you are outside the country and you need an emergency passport to get home because you don't have one,
I know that.
It costs $450 to get that emergency passport, and that emergency passport is only good for 14 days.
Mm-hmm.
And it still takes 3 days to get it.
Yep.
Right? So you still have to spend at least 3 days, if not longer, in that foreign country until the U.S. embassy or consulate gets you that emergency passport. It's only good for 14 days, costs $450. So, it's not worth it. And I think it's just time for somebody to put their foot down and tell these cruise lines, these people everybody that's on board has to have a passport and has to have travel insurance, because your health insurance is not accepted outside the U.S. And most of these countries have a very specific rule and law, and they want the money because they know if they let you go, they're never going to see that money. And they just don't have the ability to absorb the costs the way a lot of health providers do in the U.S. And it is just, I just do not feel like the cruise lines are doing anybody any favors by not requiring this. And even though these kinds of stories seem like they're few and far between, I have a feeling there are way more happening that are just not making the news.
Yes.
Yep.
I agree.
Chillin' Charlie has made it in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Warmstrong Adventures has made it in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Mona did what?
Mona did what?
Hello.
Good morning.
And there are some others. See a bunch of people coming in. Canadian Family Life has made it in. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up?
So a bunch of nice comments coming up.
Yeah, I see Mona's comment. They should offer travel health insurance. I mean, standard travel insurance has a health component to it. Yeah, I mean, just a standard travel policy would be enough.
Yeah, and Taker says that's the story we talked about yesterday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes, and it's been making the rounds, but I wanted to,
the backdrop to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to offer it from a local perspective. That's why I dug up that news story from a Tampa news station, just because I knew that they would have a little bit more of a background story on it. So
yeah.
Althea Taylor, Natural Life has made it in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
CME Traveling says, we rented a Jeep and drove all over Cozumel. Don't rent scooters. Very dangerous. Even driving the Jeep around was dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah, and have you ever been in a taxi in Cozumel? That's almost like taking your life in your own hands. Right there, boy.
First in New York.
On Deck with CB has made it in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And Antoinette at Fun has made it back. Hey, friend.
Hey, friend.
Hi.
She had a Temu haul.
Mm-hmm. And let's see. I know I just saw another one.
Yeah, Kurt, I agree with you.
I agree too, Kurt. But the problem is that people aren't going to do that, right? Because people are people, right? So that's why I'm saying requiring passports and a travel policy, a travel insurance policy would save them from themselves and prevent situations like this. So because, I mean, if they had travel insurance, they'd probably be, they'd both be in the hospital. They'd both be treated. They'd both be on their way to getting better instead of basically, sitting there waiting for somebody to show up and pay the bill.
And let's see, Follow the Bradleys Fun has made it in.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Kurt said use your head.
And do hashtag creator and hashtag TMD and hashtag ELS. And so you all can connect to each other.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, listen, I had a client one time that chose to travel during the height of COVID, without being vaccinated, and was thumbing his nose to it all and everything else. And I did my best to advise him of, what was required and what would be a good idea. And he just didn't care. And he traveled and he got COVID and he was stuck there for 14 days. And, and there was all this stuff he had to go through and everything else. And not one time through that entire process did he assume a single shred of responsibility for any of it, for having traveled during that time, knowing he wasn't vaccinated, all this other stuff. It was everybody else's fault that he was not simply able to just be allowed to get on a plane and do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, and fly back home and this and that and everything else. And, and he thought that, he thought it was stupid that the country he was in, had this law and that law and everything else. And I'm just like, you know what? I did my best to assist him. I was even on the phone with the American embassy in that country, speaking with people, and had a representative from the embassy visit him. That's to the extent that I went to try to assist him as a client. But in the end, he could have cared less about any of it. And he was more upset at the fact that he couldn't just do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, regardless, I assume because he's an American. So it's unfortunate attitude, you know, and this was not somebody who scraped together pennies to go on a, you know, on a cruise. This was a person of reasonable financial means, but still chose to not take the necessary precautions in that situation and didn't take any responsibility of it for himself. So it was unfortunate, but.
And Jeremy is speaking on another side of it that I do want to highlight. He says, unless greed takes hold, it may even drop the cost since more policies will be purchased potentially without claims.
Yeah. Make up more money over volume. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the greed factor is what I look out for too. It's like, you know, this is in case something happens, but you know, there's a whole lot of collecting going on. Correct me if I'm wrong. You purchase travel insurance from an American company. Okay. You go to the foreign country, you present your insurance card. Are they saying you're covered here, or are they going to collect from you in the front? Then you return to the United States and submit a claim in which they will reimburse you. How does that work?
No, that's how it's working.
It's a reimbursement. You still got to have
absolutely a reimbursement. It's absolutely a reimbursement. Travel insurance is always a reimbursement. You're always submitting a claim after the fact.
So you're still going to pay the bill in the foreign country no matter what.
Yes, no matter what.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, no matter what.
Okay.
But you might be more willing to do that if you had the ability. If you obviously there's going to be some people who just don't have it, right? Mm-hmm. You know, but you might be more willing to do that if you knew you were getting it back on the back end.
Yeah.
Yep.
It could even be that maybe you could reach an agreement with the hospital, the provider outside the US, you know, to possibly take it on the finger, knowing that, you know, like if you gave them your claim information or your policy information and everything else for your travel insurance, you know, they could at least then maybe submit a legitimate claim to that insurance company. Definitely offers them more assurity that they're going to get paid, right? Because their health systems operate very differently than ours.
Yes, they do, which is why an American health insurance company will not cover you in a foreign country.
Right.
Like it is here. No, you're not going to be covered initially. You're not covered. Your finances are covered, but you're not covered.
Right.
That's my point.
Yep.
Let's see. On deck with CB, we always travel with our passports and we get off at every port with them. I know that.
Mine, always have them with us. Yeah.
Mine stays on me.
Yeah.
Now the cruise line. Now, as a travel agent, I can tell you the cruise line's procedure is that if you are off the ship and the ship is like, okay, we're leaving, and you're not back, we're leaving without you. The cruise line's procedure is supposed to be that they send security into your room with the master code for your lock for your safe, and they go to a reasonable effort to see whether or not your passports are on board. And if they would be on board for some reason, they would then give them to the port representative so that they could give them to you, so that it would obviously make it easier for you to travel to wherever you have to travel next. But my recommendation is, even if you don't need it, don't get off the ship without it. Always have it on you.
Right. Yep. Let's see. Yeah. Tinkerbell says, yeah, you pay up front and then use a claim to get paid later.
Right. Yeah. Get reimbursed.
I would be more concerned with the thing being in a different language, or it's not being clear, or the dollars and cents don't make dollars and cents because of exchange rates. And somebody's going to get messed over, for the lack of a cuss word in this moment right now on this family show. Somebody's going to get messed over, i.e. the client who is paying the insurance, and it's not going to equal. You know what I mean? Like that's just how insurance works. And then we live in a hurricane zone where people's houses are still torn up because the insurance still refuses to pay for their home. You know, that's.
So just to clarify, what you're saying is let's say you're in Mexico, you get hit by a scooter, you go to the hospital, and it's cost you $10,000.
Yeah.
You paid in $10,000.
Yep.
You get back, you submit a claim, but the insurance company says, no, we're only giving you $6,000.
Yep.
Is that your point?
That's yes.
Yes. And I would agree with that, right? I would completely agree with that. That is at least highly probable. But boy, wouldn't it be nice to get that $6,000 back?
Right.
It would.
Yeah. That's kind of like, it's the best mitigation you can do.
Yeah. The best is out of, it's just the best.
Yeah. But I guess, really, I guess the key answer or the key kind of takeaway from this or the message is don't engage in, I know that it seems exciting, it seems fun, it seems benign. Oh, we're going to rent a scooter and we'll cruise around the city and we'll have a great time. Yes, right? And chances are that would go off without a hitch and you would be left with an amazing memory, right? Which in my opinion is a huge part of what vacation is all about, right? But you also have to remember that we live in a very different world than it was in 1950. And if you are on vacation, part of your responsibility to yourself and to that respite is to get back home. So maybe you shouldn't be engaged. Like I always say to myself, if I was in a country where they drive on the wrong side of the road or the opposite side of the road that my brain, is accustomed to doing, I would never rent a car or any other type of vehicle to do it because I know that I would never be able to keep it straight in my mind. And I would come around a corner and end up putting that vehicle in the wrong lane and I would get into an accident. I know that already. So there is no circumstance where I would ever convince myself or even have to convince myself that it would be a good idea to do that. So really the message is when you're on vacation in a foreign place, try to take it easy, right? Don't engage in things that have even a remote possibility of danger, right? Chill, take it easy. Take a page from Jeremy and Cheryl. Just walk around the port.
Yes.
Because there's probably the least likelihood of having a situation like that if you're just browsing t-shirt shops and pharmacias.
That's what we do. That's what we do. We keep it safe and we keep the cruise ship within sight.
Yeah.
Even in Curacao, even though we rode the bridge across and all of that, you could still see the ship.
Yes.
It's a long walk, but
So like when I go to Puerto Rico for a visit, I dread to drive there. And I know how people drive there. So I know in other different countries, forget it. Things are going to be rough.
Right.
We went to Costa Maya last year. Even though we hopped on a go-kart with Mike, and we went to Costa Maya to a couple of the bar, we were very careful where we were going. And thank God that we were on a beach area that was closed in, that people were slowing down. But to drive out into the sea, a bigger city or something,
Yeah.
I stay with
I go to these ports. I go everywhere. I go as far away from the ship as I possibly can. I explore the whole island. I do this, I do that, and everything else, right? And obviously, it's a risk for me, right? And I'm protected as much as I can, though, right? I have, I have travel insurance. I'm not engaged, like I'm on a tour or I'm walking and things like that. I'm not driving vehicles. I'm not, on scooters and things like that or whatever. I'm walking, in neighborhoods and things like that or whatever, like I said, or I'm on a tour and I have, I'm taking as much precaution as I can, but I still obviously am at risk, right? Anything could happen. Absolutely anything could happen.
Hey, Kurt, I know that I've been on the fence for a while about this Paradise Beach thing for our upcoming booze cruise. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to make that one. I'm not sure about that. Probably not.
Me and Alice, we're going.
Okay. Speaking of secrets and what the Lugos are doing, let's hear what Eddie Lugo's secret is for today.
I'm gonna get up. Okay.
The first one is The Secret Boots Cruise, October 28th, 2024, on the Carnival Paradise, leaving Adult Tampa. Yes, yes, yes. October 28th, 2024, on that ship right there, leaving Adult Tampa. We're going to go to Key West, Montego Bay, and Grand Cayman. Yes. Please get in touch with Bruce for details. ocean-to-oceantravel.com. He'll give you the right amount of stuff that you need to get your cabin, your deposits, and your payment by July next year. And come along. It's a lot of us coming on this cruise. A lot of our creators coming in this cruise. Mike and Rihanna have a Facebook group that you can find all the details of stuff that we're doing. House of X is going to be in charge of 2 elegant nights. There's some stuff going on the ship too. So 6 days from Tampa, Montego Bay, Grand Cayman, and Key West. I'm getting all confused with Mexico now. Montego Bay, Grand Cayman, and Key West next year. So come along.
Who's Cruise 2024. Hosted by Eddie Lugo Studios, out of Tampa, Florida. Port of calls, Key West, Florida. Grand Cayman Island. Montego Bay, Jamaica. Aboard the Carnival Paradise. Come join us for this great cruise, October 28th to November 3rd, 2024. Contact Bruce at ocean-to-oceantravel.com.
And you have another secret also.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, Eddie is just full of secrets.
I know.
Yes, on the Norwegian Viva, a brand new ship.
Viva la raza!
That's right. January 26th.
Viva la raza!
2025. Leaving out of San Juan, Puerto Rico. It's a 7-day, but guess what? It's 8 ports. How is that possible? Of course, you land in Puerto Rico. Then you go to 7 ports. The ABC Islands, all 3 of them. Aruba, Bonaire, and Curaçao. Also, St. Lucia, St. Kitts. That's 2 more. And also, Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. There's somebody else there too. What's the other place? And then you come back to Puerto Rico. It's like 8 ports in 7 days. It's going to be an excellent Norwegian Viva, January 26, 2025. It's going to be my 60th birthday. So let's come down and celebrate with me. It's going to be fun. Also, get in touch with Bruce. He'll give you all the details, all the down payments, and everything that we'll be doing on that cruise ship. It's going to be plenty of stuff to do, plenty of activities, plenty of shows, plenty of stuff to do on the ship. It's a brand new ship, like I said. We're going to be lugging it and going all over the place. It's going to be excellent. So come along, Bruce. That's your man.
Caribbean Conquest 2025. Hosted by Eddie and Alice Lugo Studios, out of San Juan, Puerto Rico. Aboard the Norwegian Viva. Ports of call, Aruba, Bonaire, Curaçao, Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, St. Lucia, St. Kitts. Come join us for this great cruise, January 26th, February 2nd, 2025. Contact Bruce at ocean-to-oceantravel.com.
That's right. That's right.
That one is so loud.
Okay. Let's see. Scratching Pete has made it in. Good morning.
Yo, Pete.
Yep. And on deck with CB, just before we close out the show, when cruising, it says, know your limits. We went to the Blue Hole in Jamaica. We got to the platform to jump, and Debbie, said, hell no. Adam later said, with my bad knee, it was a good decision.
Yeah, but I just think that I think it's time for the cruise lines to start putting passenger safety and passenger, like guest best interest ahead of the profits, ahead of this ambivalent position of, you know what, we're just here to sell fun, and start saving people from themselves. Just put that ahead of the profits and require a passport and travel insurance, or you don't get on board.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
All right. And let's see. We have some more people who are coming up later on today on YouTube. And I know that we may have that schedule up for you guys.
Sorry, I was reading Kurt's message. He left me there. It's like, what you talking about, homeboy? Well, coming up after us, it's a moment in the world, and Cruise Bed Adventures at 11 a.m. Eastern. Roy and Becky's Travels, 1 p.m. Followed by a premiere by the Pop Files at 5 p.m. 5:30 p.m. will be a premiere by Destination Fun, followed by a premiere at 7:30 Eastern by Cruise Nuts, which I believe is at 7. Not sure, but make sure. I think it's 7 p.m. instead of 7:30, but I could be wrong. Follow the show by No Judgment here with Teach, Ross, Half Luggage World Travel, and House of X have a premiere tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, and closing the night will be the Vineyard Chicks Homestead at 9 p.m. Eastern.
That's what's up.
Yep.
And let's see. That will do it for today's show. Hashtag use your head. Yeah, that's a good way to close out the show. Thank you so much.
Quick, I want to just remind everybody of our second episode of Go Live Together After Dark tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Be there.
Yes.
That's right.
Don't be square, because we're coming around anyway.
Yeah, that's right. And we're not.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming in today. We absolutely enjoyed you guys, your interactions in the chat. We always enjoy talking with you guys every day. Y'all take care of each other out there. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And never, ever forget, we love you and good morning.
Bye.